Hello, dear students. Good morning to everybody. Let's again start our today's history class. Today we are going to discuss the first topics from our history first chapter. On the last class we have completed first chapter of political science. Now we are moving to discuss the first chapter from history. Okay, you can see the title of our chapter, the rise of nationalism in Europe. The rise of nationalism in Europe. That means in this chapter we will discuss about the emergence and the formation of the nationalism and the end result of the nation states in European continent from 18th century onwards. Okay, from 18th century onwards there was happened the emergence of the nationalism and the formation of the nation states in Europe. Okay, that is the main theme of this chapter. First of all, you can see a picture is there. There are given one picture, figure 1. Okay, figure 1. Okay, just observe the figure 1, the dream of worldwide democratic and social republic, a painting prepared by Frederick Sorio in the year 1848. Okay, you can see that the figure 1. Okay, in the year 1848, Frederick Sorio was a French artist. He was prepared for print, or he issued for printing paintings. Okay, that printing paintings was visualizing his dream. What is his dream? His dream of world made up of democratic and social republic. The different countries of the world formed as a democratic and social republic. Such a dream was printed or visualized by Frederick Sorio in his foreprint. He called his foreprint as social and democratic republic. Okay, and you can see that in this picture some crowd people, they were rallying or marches like a long march. What is that? According to painter or according to the Frederick Sorio, it shows the people of Europe and America, of all men and women of all ages, as well as the whole social category or all social groups, they passing or they comes like a long train. They were marching just like a long train and offering homage to the Statue of Liberty. They were come from the far away and they were passing in front of the Statue of Liberty, and in that time they are met with the Statue of Liberty. They will give the homage or offerings or respect to the Statue of Liberty. Such a figure was included in his paint by the Frederick Sorio. We already studied on the last year, your 9th class, the French artist. They were used female figures to personify the liberty and other revolutionary ideas, to spread the revolutionary ideas and the freedom or liberty. Such ideas they were symbolized with the image or female figures. Here also the Statue of Liberty also a female figure. It was in America or New York. Okay, then when we look into that the Statue of Liberty, we can see that on the one hand of that statue she bears a torch. That torch indicates enlightenment, knowledge, enlightenment. On the other hand, we can see on the statue of the other hand of the statue, we can see a chart. That charter includes the rights of man. So in the two ends of the Statue of Liberty have two aspects. One was torch, it is symbolizing the enlightenment. On the other hand, we can see the charter of rights of man. Okay, and in this picture, in the picture of or in the print of Frederick Sorio, we can see on the foreground, on the front view of that picture, we can see some destroyed materials, some collapsed materials. These destroyed or collapsed materials are symbolized by artists as the shattered remainings of the absolutist. Shattered, collapsed, destroyed remains of absolutist. The word is absolutist. It has two meanings. The one meaning was in literature or literary meaning. It is the government system of rule that no restraints on the power exercised. That means the power exercised means the king or ruler. That king or that ruler have no control from outside or any other external force. He can rule according to his own will, according to his own power. There is no more question towards his rule. That is the literal meaning of absolutist. Then it also the historical meaning. In history, this term refers to a monarchical rule. Okay, the rule of a monarchy that was centralized, militarized, and repressive. Okay, the rule of a king. That king role was centralized role. And also have a good army. By this army, he will lead a repressive or a suppressive role towards the subject. Okay, it is the word meaning of the absolute. So here the Frederick Sorio indicates these remainings or these shattered materials as the collapse or the destruction of the absolutist powers of the European America. And here, actually this print or this visualizing of his dream was a utopian vision. Why this it is called utopian vision? You can see the utopian. The new word is there. Utopian means a vision of the society that is so ideal that is unlikely to actually exist. It is a vision of society. In ideal level, it is very good. It is a perfect manner, but in practical sense, it is very difficult to implement it. In practical sense, it is very difficult to actually exist. Such a vision we can call as utopian vision. Utopian vision. So anyway, in his utopian vision or in his print of this democratic and social republic, and the Frederick Sorio, he was divided the world people into different nations with distinctive culture, costumes, and they carrying their flags and comes through this like a tribe. In his picture, he divided or he categorized the world people, especially from the Europe and America, as different nations. That people carries their own flag and their own distinctive culture, costumes, etc. Okay, and you can see that in this procession or in this rally or the march, two countries they were already passed by the Statue of Liberty. That two countries are, one is United States of America and second one is Switzerland. So United States of America and Switzerland were pictured or depicted in this image as they were passed by the Statue of Liberty, because at that time means on the time of the drawing or the painting or printing of this image by Sorio in the year 1848, already America and Switzerland became a national state. Already America and Switzerland became a nation state. Okay, just after that, on the just near the Statue of Liberty, we can see the country of the France. France just to reach near the Statue of Liberty with their revolutionary tricolor flag, blue, white, red. Because that time France is trying to become a nation state. After the French Revolution, France trying to become a democratic nation state. After the France, or she is followed by the Germany. After the France, we can see the coming of the Germany. Germany people also coming towards this Statue of Liberty with their own flag of the gold, red and black color flag. Gold, red and black color flag of the German people. They hope that on future or coming days we will unite Germany after the unification of the number of small principalities. At that time, the Germany was not a single country. The Germany have different small kingdoms or dynasties or principalities by different rulers. So they want to try to unite or the unification of these small regions at single country and to form the German nation. So that is why he depicted the Germany after the France get to this Statue of Liberty. Then we can see that also after the Germany there were other countries like Austria, Kingdom of Sicily, Lombardy, Poland, England, Ireland, Hungary, Russia. Such all countries are one by one is coming through this procession. There were different countries are one by one is coming through this procession. And from the heavens, on the top of the figure, we can see that on the top side of the print, we can see that it indicate the top side as heaven. Okay, so sorry, you indicate the top side as heaven. From the heaven, we can see that Christ, saints, and angels gaze upon the scene. The Christ, angels, and the saints, they were gazing upon the scene or the procession or the march. They have been used by the artists to symbolize the fraternity among the nations of the world. Why he used this scene from the heaven to identify or to symbolize the fraternity of the nations of the world, a fraternity, brotherhood of the nations of the world. So, in this chapter we will discuss about the various issues put forward by the Frederick Story in his print. The various issues means the present condition of the or the contemporary condition of the European continent, as well as the different situations of the dynastic setup and the revolutionary attempts of the people, especially the middle class people, the role of conservatives, then the formation of the national state after the spread of nationalism, etc. Different issues we will discuss in this topic. Here, as a result of the spread of the nationalism in Europe, as a result of the spread of nationalism in Europe, what happened? It brought a total changes in the mental and physical world of the Europe. As a result of the nationalism in Europe, it brought some total sweeping changes in the continent of the Europe. The end result or the ultimate result of these changes was the formation of the nation state. The at last result or the end result of this spread of nationalism was the formation of the national state. Okay, the national state and the modern state are different. The concept of the national state and the modern state are different. In a modern state, there should be a centralized power, and that the centralized power has sovereign control over the country. They have a clearly defined territory, and such a system was existed in Europe for a long time. It has a clearly defined territory or boundary is there, centralized power is there, as well as the sovereign control is there. Similarly, a nation state also have that its own clearly territory or the boundary is there, centralized power is there, sovereign control is there. Along with these three aspects, the people of the nation states are citizens. But in the case of modern states, people may be subjects, not the citizens. And also, the nation state have developed their own common shared culture. The people of the nation state have their own common culture. They were following the descendants. They have shared the commonness. But in the case of the modern state, the people may or may not same culture. Sometimes may be same culture, but in the most often it was different culture, and there are diverse people. Okay, that is the difference between the national state and the modern state. Okay, anyway, this commonness or this formation of the nation states, they were occurred not through the a simple purpose. It was occurred after a long drawn process of the struggles and strikes. After a long drawn process of the struggle and strike, they were occurred this nation state formation. Anyway, now we can stop this class. On the coming class we will discuss the further topics. Thank you for all. Good morning.